A warning that this exclusive report from our home editor, Jason Farrell, contains details that some viewers may find distressing.
Here in Hull, a police investigation into a gang of alleged child abusers has stalled.
He'd pick me up from school in the middle of the day, then give me alcohol and just rape me in this house.
But we're gathering evidence from young women who say they were being groomed and raped by connected men, in a story that perhaps explains why the vast majority of the UK's sexual assault investigations never reach court. One of the alleged victims, we're calling Anna, kept a diary.
First of November 2018. Physical abuse. Bitten, hit, slapped, dragged by legs.
Anna's account of abuse starts with an older boy who she trusted until he turned violent.
Rape. I can't write anymore yet. Too fresh.
After this, she seems to get entangled in violent sexual relationships with a number of men. She says she feels threatened by them, and that one made that clear to Anna when taking her to this forest.
He was saying how he could kill me here and bury me and no one would realise. And then he strangled me and everything just went black. And I remember I could see the trees and they just all went black.
Alongside the threats, there's also a kind of brainwashing. Sometimes Anna thinks the men love her. She seems wired to their control. In her diary, she says she feels like she's living a double life and is controlled like a puppet.
You know, a lot of people sort of go, oh, why do girls go back to these guys? Why do they keep going back? Was it purely fear?
So, the main thing that was in my head was, if I don't do this, something worse is going to happen. And it's just the whole cycle you're in. It's hard to get out of. You just normalise to it. And no one was offering us help to get us out of it, so you kind of think, well, it can't be that bad if no one's bothered.
Jo Wagstaff is a psychotherapist who's worked with victims of these gangs, including Anna.
In the beginning, I think there is an element that it feels like they're in a friendship or a relationship. And I think that's where that brainwashing comes in as well, in that actually I've done this for you and I've given you everything. And that would be true. They have done that. So now you need to pay me back.
Anna was over 16 when the abuse started, so during the police investigation there was a greater need to prove she was coerced. However, that evidence does seem to exist. Firstly, she took photos of the bruising on her neck and arms, which match injuries she mentions in her diary. What's more, she regularly updated her school's welfare officer, who made her own log on what was happening.
22nd January 2019. Anna had a small red mark on her left cheek. I could see bloodstains on her left knee. She says she knows what they do is harm, but she normalises it. But if she ignores their calls, messages, then there is more harm.
Over the course of 18 months, there are 290 logs, mostly referring to concerns about child exploitation. Anna's teacher sees messages saying, "I'll actually kill you, don't ignore me," from a man who's been outside school.
That's what the predator will be doing, watching, where they are, what they're doing.
Anna provided over 1,000 pages of evidence, which we've shared with former police chief and one of the UK's leading investigators into child exploitation, Jim Gamble.
I think having looked at the information that is there, there is no true consent that I can see. And anyone who just looks at a few of these papers will see that. So consent needs to be freely given. It needs to be a true consent.
It doesn't come with strangulation marks, does it?
Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't come with threats to kill your parents. It doesn't come, with threats to be waiting for you outside school.
It's clear Anna's school and police had real-time knowledge that she was repeatedly going missing, and there were multiple concerns she was being intimidated and abused, yet they seem unable to stop it. In Anna's diary, her frustration comes off the page, in emotions, in lists of days when she's abused and days when she's reported missing. In graphic accounts of the assaults and amid notes about school homework, there are thoughts like this.
Today in science class, I learned every cell in our body is replaced every 7 years. How lovely it is to know I will have
that
a
one
body
day I will have a body you never touched. And I tell you, that's something that I will remember forevermore. It's so powerful. We're almost at the point where we need to declare war on this type of behaviour. We need to say it is a priority. It's not just about exploitation, it is about rape by appointment. It is about brutal individuals who are hurting our children.
In our next report, we speak to Humberside Police. They've told us, following arrests and thousands of lines of inquiry, they haven't reached the evidence threshold to take this to court. So far, we've told you about 2 alleged victims, but 3 others have given Sky News supporting testimony, and the alleged victim we speak to next hasn't been interviewed by the police. Jason Farrell, Sky News.